Alright guys, to build the Big Fatty, this is what you're going to need. Something for the mouthpiece, a tube of some sort. I like to use these little insulin syringes. PVC coupling. You'll know you have the right size if you bring a 10 milliliter jug, because it fits in there just nice and snug. You're going to need a 22 gauge needle. Get the 1.5 inch long needle. You're also going to want to have a blank cartridge, empty cartridge. Get in there with a toothpick and pull out the old sponge material, just like that. Get rid of it. You're going to get your drill. Just go straight in the middle. Be careful when you do this. If you're not very handy and you like having your fingers intact, I don't know if you noticed I got cuts all over my fingers from building mods, but that's alright. You guys are worth it. Anyway, just go straight in the middle, and you want to drill straight through the cartridge. There you go. Once you get your hole through, that's pretty easy to do. Once you get that hole drilled through, you can take the drill bit and push that other piece out that I was talking to you about. There it goes. It just flew past my face. Anyway, it's out. Take your syringe needle. Alright? For the fatty, a 22 gauge is about perfect for me, because with the fatty you give it a squeeze and while you're puffing on it. Where's my sample at? Right there. You just give it a squeeze when you're sucking on it. And my new feed system, you can't ever squeeze too much. If you squeeze too much, when you let go, it'll suck the excess back up in there. We're going to talk about the feed system later, though. And this cap is one of those good caps that I don't need to do any drilling. But if you get a cap that is a little thicker, you can take a Dremel or something, or a drill bit, and just start drilling in the top to get it started. And then once it gets kind of thin, then you can push the needle through. All right. Once you get the needle through, you want to push it in from the inside out like so. That's what it's going to look like. Alright, I'm going to back it out now. Whatever kind of syringe you get, you want to make sure it's not a stainless steel lock. You want to have a Luer lock or any kind of lock. It doesn't matter. As long as this top portion is made out of plastic. You'll be able to see through the plastic, and you'll be able to see where the tube ends. You want to take your razor blade and cut off the excess. So from about there up, there you go, it's cut off. We're going to take the JB Weld, right, and mix up just very little bit. Whenever you put it on your card or whatever your mixing surface is, no bigger than maybe a half of a pinky nail's drop. Get your toothpick, mix it up real good. You want to make sure that you don't get it on your threads of the cap, okay? And then, as long as it doesn't hit the threads. Now, once you got it in there, just go ahead and slide that needle on there, and the epoxy will go, or the Loctite will go down into the cap also with it. All right? Pull it all the way down. That's what it should look like. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. You want to take it and you want to feed it into that hole, into the cartridge, and kind of push it down a bit, and it comes out of the end. Alright, mix up another small batch of JB Weld. See how you got your needle coming through? Oh, I almost forgot something. You want to have some excess needle coming through. So right now I've only got about 1/4 inch. I want a little bit more than that. That's a simple fix. With the fatty, you have to do this. With the awesome mod, you won't have to do this, but we're going to talk about that a little bit. I'm just going to cut a little bit of. I'm just going to cut the very top off of the, not the cartridge end, but the mouthpiece end off of that cartridge. I'm just going to trim a little bit off. Stick it back in. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There you go. Now you got a whole bunch of, can you see it? Can you see it? Got a whole bunch of needle coming through there now. Alright? You'll see why in a little bit. Now, when you turn it over, hold the needle off to the side a little bit. You're going to take your JB Weld, and like I said some of this stuff takes a little bit of touch. You don't want to get that JB Weld on the outside of the cartridge. You definitely don't want to get it in the top of the needle either. So just kind of let it drip off into the center of the cartridge, just like so. You want to center the needle, just like that, and just hold it right there for about 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, next step, after your JB Weld dries again, on this part you can do whatever you want. You can use some epoxy, glue, whatever your choice is. Basically, what you want to do is where the cap meets the cartridge, you just want to make sure that that's airtight. So I use like a little bit of this liquid tape right here. I take my toothpick and I just kind of feed it around the edge. Slide my piece of shrink wrap over the top. Go all the way up like so. Take my lighter, shrink it down, cut it off to where it's as straight as possible. And then you're just left with that little tube. And then at about a 45-degree angle, I'm going to cut it, because you're going to want that tube to come off of the addy like so. Alright, when you put that pipe on there, you want to leave enough room up above the ridge where it goes into the atomizer, because you're going to have to put sealant around that to make it airtight. Okay, your coupling. Alright. The best way I can say how to do this is you're going to push the cap all the way in, right? And then your tube is going to come off about like that. So you kind of have to guesstimate, you know, on your own how far back you need to cut this. I've made a few of them, so I know how far back to cut it. I usually go 2/3 of this coupling. If you get the same kind of coupling I have, you're going to want to go. You're going to want to cut it back 2/3, and you're going to want to make the cut as wide as your tube, because that's going to have to come out of there. All right, see, cut your notch out like that. You want one of those flat edges to be facing that slit. So line it up. Want to have one of the flat edges facing the slit that you made, right? Will pop right in. It's going to be snug. There. I got it in flush and centered. You want to kind of line up the mouthpiece with the cartridge. All right. Now remember, don't forget your little ledge that sits on top of the atomizer. You want to leave about between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch. And then kind of guess where the mouthpiece is going to attach. And then kind of visually look at it, and you're going to drill a hole right there.